Here we go. Yeah. Once again, businesscreditbuilder.us. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. My name is Noel A. Booker Sr. Google me. Okay, I'm out there like that. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how to get $250,000 in business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social and easily get business loans and credit lines. Okay, we're going to share my screen. And just know this is going to be the quick version, all right? So you don't have to be here a long time. Usually I do this in an hour and a half. But today we're not going to take an hour and a half. We're going to zoom through this as fast as I can in a way that you can understand. And you can get the replay on the YouTube channel by going to businesscreditbuilder.us and clicking that YouTube button. Okay. Oh, not welcome to record. I'm going to record. All right. All right. Let's do it. Thank you. Thank you, Kanisha. But I'm going to get the recording to you. Word is bond. All you do, just like I said, go to businesscreditbuilder.us and click on that YouTube button. I'll have it up there by tomorrow. All right. Word. Okay. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen, but let me hook this up some. And then we're gonna be going. All right. So y'all take notes, right? You can take screenshots, do what you need to do. All right. Okay, here we go. Boom, boom, bam. We in there. All right, pardon me, y'all. Here we go. Businesscreditbuilder.us is the website. My name is Noel Booker. Check out the buttons on the bottom. We got the green button. That's how you can get a free guide on how to build business credit. Make sure you get that free guide. You go to businesscreditbuilder.us/free guide, right? The blue button, that's when if you want to talk to me about the services that we provide, accounting, websites, business credit, getting a loan, what you would do is get a free business credit consultation by going to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. And if you think you could qualify for funding now, go to businesscreditbuilder.us/get funding. Boom. We're going to go real fast. I'm from New York. I went to Morehouse, accounting, my business Media Net USA, that does the accounting and that does the websites, right? And now we're talking about business credit. Okay, what we will cover today. Damn, my video keeps going up. How you can get business credit within 7 days or less linked to your EIN, not your social, even if you're a startup or have bad personal credit now. Then immediately start using it to get the credit you want and need, even from major sources like Target, Walmart, Staples, Lowe's, Visa, MasterCard, and more.
Guys, move.
Yeah. And how you can access loans even as a startup, have credit challenges, or lack collateral. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna go over every page because this is the short version, right? But I do want to let you know that most people try to get money from their bank when they need money. Most don't know that EIN credit can be built regardless of personal credit quality. Many apply for credit in the wrong order. See, building business credit is a step-by-step process. Each step is needed for the next step. Okay, so there's no skipping steps. All right. Many entrepreneurs don't know that money is available based on business strengths. And the strengths I'm talking about here is what I call the 3 C's. We're going to go over that real quick. The 3 C's of funding. This is what you need to know: credit, collateral, cash flow. When the bank is looking at you, they're definitely looking at those 3 things: credit, cash flow, collateral. All right. If you got all 3 of them, you can get an SBA loan. You might be able to get an SBA loan. If you got 2 of them, you might be able to apply for a term loan. If you got 1 of them, depending on which one you do have, there's money for you. If you have none of those 3, then that's when you start with business credit. And when you build up your business credit, then you position yourself to where you need to go. Okay? Now, and I can show you how to do that. Okay. What is business credit? Business credit is credit that is obtained in the business name. With business credit, the business builds its own credit profile and credit score for its EIN number. This credit is in the business name and based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owners. The business can then qualify for revolving store credit cards like Staples, Lowe's, Sam's Club, Costco, and more. Okay, a whole bunch more. Boom. Ooh, okay. All right. All right. Um. Okay. Okay. Business credit has no effect on your personal credit. There's no personal guarantee needed to build business credit. Business credit building is fast. You can offset current expenses with business credit. Okay. That's for the new, that's how you build business credit. And I'm gonna tell you, um, if your business is operating, right? If your business is operating, you should, in the operation of your business, it should already be built in that you got business credit based on the vendors that you have to pay for supplies to do your business. If you have to buy something to operate your business, get it on credit, make a payment, get paid. So if you set up your business right and you know how to do this, then your business will automatically have business credit just from the operation of your business, right? By getting vendors that report. I'm gonna show you how to do that. Increase your approval amounts with better rates and terms. No collateral, cash flow, or good credit is needed to build business credit. And when you have business credit, you can get access to loans and credit lines. Okay? Boom. Okay, every successful business in America has business credit. We're gonna skip over this, but I'm gonna tell you this right here. Everybody can see this. This is for free. You would go to a page on Experian, Walmart. This is Walmart, right? They're in Bentonville, Arkansas. Now the piece on there is the trade lines. You see that? The trade lines. That's the key. They got 513 trade lines, right? Now, so this is what they do. They'll go to Bounty. They'll say, "Yo, Bounty, let me get a truckload. Let me get a truckload of toilet paper." Now, the owner of Walmart, he won't go in his pocket and pay for that. He won't call up the accounting department and tell them to cut a check. Mm-mm. That toilet paper, that truckload of toilet paper is going to show up at the store. They're going to put it on the shelf. Then we're going to go in and buy it. They're going to take our money and they're going to pay the bill. And then Bounty's gonna say, "Hey, you did that good. Here's 5 truckloads. Now flip that." And that's how business is done. At the big corporate level, at the small business level, at the corner store, when the bread comes, they're not paying for that bread. They're counting how many units came in, how many units went out. Okay, that's how business is done with business credit. Okay, the how we can help the fundability system. All right. My fundability system. We show you how to make your business credible in the eyes of the lender. Our high tech software, powered by artificial intelligence, helps you build your business credit to access high limit credit, store credit, business loans, and credit lines. We work with all legitimate types of funding programs that are available today, offering funding through hundreds of investors and lenders through a multitude of different funding programs. Okay? So we're like a broker. We already have relationships with the lenders. We know what the requirements are ahead of time. Okay? Now, let's get into how you build business credit. Okay. Um, Shoot. Okay. This is gonna be the fast version, but we're gonna do off the top of the dome, right? So the first step is to make your business credible in the eyes of the lender. Okay. Hello, Miss Hunter. You came right when I'm starting to tell them about business credit. Right now, I already told them about me and how to get a free guide of at businesscreditbuilder.us. And we also talked about the benefits of having business credit.
Okay.
Right. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So you just came at the right time. So, and I'm gonna let you know that this is the quick version that I'm doing. I usually take an hour and a half, but this is gonna be the quick version. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you what you need to know to build business credit, and you won't even need me. Okay. Okay. The first step, right? And building business credit is a step-by-step process. Each step is needed for the next step. You cannot skip steps. Okay. The first step is fundability to make, and I also call it credibility, to make your business credible in the eyes of the lender. I also call this the smell test because it's all the stuff that's on your application. All right. It's all the stuff it's the easy stuff. This is the most important step in building your and getting money for your business is setting up your business. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is the quick version. I'm running over all of this, right? I'm getting down to where the nitty gritty is. Okay. This is the nitty gritty right here. All right, down to the nitty gritty. The foundation of fundability is how your business is set up. Okay. It has to be set up to appear to be a fundable entity separate from you, the owner. You have to appear. You don't even have to be you don't even have to be a credible business. You just have to appear to be a credible business. Okay? And I'm gonna show you how to appear to be a credible business. There's some simple steps, right? And this is the most important piece I'm trying to tell y'all, all right? And it's very detailed, all right? All right. This is all the stuff that you need. You need a business name. You go to the Secretary of State in the state that you reside. In Georgia, it costs 100. Every state is different. Okay. When you apply for that business name, they're going to ask you to select an entity. What you need to know is that you need to select an LLC or a corporation. If you select a proprietorship or a partnership, then you are personally liable for anything that happens with that business. Okay. Okay. Now, the address, the business address. There's three options for having a business address. Here go the three. One, a brick and mortar. That's a storefront. You definitely need a place where you can accept packages. Okay. The second option is to have a virtual office address. All right. For as low as $50. I'm gonna tell you about that. The third option and the last option, there are no more options after this, and that's to have your home address. Now, a lot of people don't use the home address, they use the virtual address because they don't want to let the whole world know where they live. All right, so they get a virtual address, but that costs at least $50 a month. Okay. Boom. That's what you need to know about the address. All right. Boom. Phone number. This is what you need to know. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, here we go. The phone number needs to be a local number that is listed with the National 411 directory. It cannot be a cell phone number, and it cannot be a home line number. Okay? I got a hookup for you though. Stand by. All right. Um, you need a DUNS number. That's from Dun and Bradstreet. All right. You need a website. All right. And on the website, what's going to happen like this, these lenders, they will go and say, oh, you a business? Let me go Google your business and try to find you. And then when they find your business, right, they're going to skip that nice and pretty home page. They're going to go straight to the contact page, and they're going to try to see if that information, the telephone number and the address, is the same information that you put on the application. So that's when they try to catch you slipping. Okay. So they want all this stuff to line up perfectly. Okay. All this stuff needs to line up perfectly to make it look like you're a credible business. Okay. That's how they do it. All right. So you need that DUNS number. And I'll show you how to do that. You just go to Dun and Bradstreet website and you apply for a DUNS number, and it's free. You need that DUNS number. You can't build business credit without a DUNS number. You need that website, and you need a business email address. You should not be using a Gmail account, a Hotmail account, um, none of them free joints. All right. You need to have your name at yourbusinessname.com, right? With the same URL as your website. This is simple, common stuff, right? This is just simple, stuff though, right? But this is what you need. All right. Okay, bust it. Okay. You need a business telephone number, a fax number, toll-free number. Okay, this is the deal with that telephone number, right? You need that local number I told you about already, but having a fax number, and having that 800 number makes it look like you're more credible. Okay? You don't need it, but it just makes it look like you're more credible. So I always tell my clients, make it look like you're more credible. Okay? Have that 800 number, have a fax number, right? But they definitely gonna check that local number and make sure it's listed because it's directly related to your address. Okay? All right. That's crucial stuff, I'm telling y'all. Okay. The phone numbers, right? This is the place you should get a phone number from. A local telephone number. Freedom Voice, Ring Central, Vonage. Any one of these can hook you up. But I use Freedom Voice because Freedom Voice, they'll give you a telephone number for $9.99, $9.95 a month, and then they'll list it for $3 a month. And they'll give you a 800 number and a fax number for under $20 a month. Bam, Freedom Voice. The other joints are going to start you at 25. All right. So I did the research for you. Boom. That's for the telephone numbers. Okay. Now, bust it. For the what you call it? The virtual office address. This is a spot to go to. Da Vinci Virtual Office Solutions. If you go to this website, businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors, you will see the Da Vinci logo. You'll see a telephone number to call. You'll see a person to ask for, Mary, and then there's a description of what product you want to ask Mary for. All right? Because you got to get the right product. Because you got to get the virtual office address that's unique. All right. See, what they do is they send out a form to the post office and they will generate a unique address for your business. Now, the thing to know about this industry is that there are a whole bunch of these companies that offer virtual office addresses, but a lot of them, they will offer like hundreds of businesses the same exact business address. And that's not what you want. You want a unique address for your business. Word is bond. Okay. All right. So EIN number. You know you need an EIN number, right? All right. I ain't even talk about no EIN number. Y'all know that. I already talked about how you to incorporate. I told you about the entity. All right, let's move on. Oh, once you get the certificate, when you register your name from the Secretary of State and you go to the irs.gov and you get your EIN number, and you got those two things, that's when you're running. You're not walking, you're running to the bank and getting a bank account. All you need is $100 in your ID and those two items, and you get your bank account, right? Make sure it got the same address on there and the name is spelled exactly like it is on the on that certificate from the Secretary of State. All right, boom, bank account, licenses. Okay, you know you got to have the right licenses, right, to operate your type of business, right? Now, the most common mistake is people got the right license, but they got an old address on the license. Okay, that can throw up a red flag. And with business credit, they could deny you and don't have to tell you why. With personal credit, they got to tell you why they denied you. But in business credit, they could deny you just from this application and don't have to tell you why. Okay? Okay. OMA also give all three 1490. OMA. What did they give? I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. So the license, that's the most common mistake. All right. So boom. All right, let's go fast. Website, you definitely need a website. We talked about the website, right? And then we talked about the email, right? Oh, the phone lines. Okay, boom. Okay. Phone fax 800 number for 1490. Okay, I got you. That's a good one then, right? As long as they listed to the National 411 directory, then cool. That's the most important piece of it. Listing it to the National 411 directories, that local number. Because that's the piece that everybody's going to look for. Like there's some vendors that only gonna check that you got an EIN number and that your telephone number is listed. So that's the main thing. Okay, websites. My company does, we got this all-inclusive small business web hosting program. So if you need your website, right? And it's all inclusive, meaning that I do everything for you. You don't have to do jack. Domain registration is included. 12 months web hosting, website design, monthly updates, unlimited emails, expert customer support, internet consultation, schedule consult, and we'll get you hooked up for that website. All right. And if you're getting down with and this starts at 350, right? It starts at 350 for the whole year and then renews at 150 every year after that. Now, for people that get into my business credit builder program, they get $100 off of that for your website. So your website will only be 250. Boom. That's for the first year. I got everything. I do everything. Boom. All right. Okay. And oh, you can list yourself. Yeah, you can list yourself at listyourself.net, right? But those depending on depending on where the telephone number came from, not every number gets listed. Okay. That's like Google numbers. Like not every Google number is going to get listed. Not every phone provider can get listed. All right. So from my research, I'm telling you what definitely works for real right now. Okay, no doubt. All right. But I thank you for that UMA suggestion, right? All right, bet. All right. Okay. Okay, business credit reports. Now, Once you got all that easy stuff out the way, right? You got your name, you got your address, you got your telephone, you got your EIN, you got your bank account, you got your website. All the information is lining up exactly the same. For real, exactly the same. All the information got to line up exactly the same. Now, what we're going to do is go over to Dun& and Bradstreet and apply for this DUNS number for free. And what happens, it takes about 30 days for you to get this DUNS number. Now, in them 30 days, they're gonna email you and they're gonna call you and be like, yo, why don't you buy this? They're gonna convince you that you gotta buy something to get this DUNS number. You don't have to buy nothing. The DUNS number is free. Okay. Boom. So, all right, we're gonna skip that. We're doing the quick version, right? It usually takes an hour and a half to do this, but I'm doing the quick version so we don't have to stay that long. Okay. Okay. This page right here is to let you know that if you have good personal credit, that when you have good personal credit, it makes you more fundable. Okay, you can start with your credit all messed up, right? But when you got good personal credit, you get access to more monies, right? There's more avenues for we can send you, right? And I got a guy that does the personal credit. Got the data furniture and all that stuff. So just schedule a consult and we'll get you hooked up. Right. All right. All right. Okay, so align your business information correctly. This is a problem because a ton of loan applications are turned down each year due to fraud concerns or simply because things do not match up. Exact business legal name, business address, business phone, address listed on the IRS for your EIN, your insurance, licenses, website, bank account. All of that stuff has to be lined up correctly. Okay? And that'll get you past the smell test. Okay? That'll get you past the smell test. Now, to make your business even more fundable, you make sure you got business financials, tax returns, right? Okay, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna go to the next step right now. All right. But as a summary, look at this chart right here. This chart shows all the things to make your business fundable, which means that there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that makes you, there's a whole bunch of factors, right? That can play into how fundable your business is. Okay. And so let's go to the next step. All right. So far, what we did was set up your business credible in the eyes of the lender for real. It's the most important step in getting to the money, setting up your business. All right. Now we're going to actually do something. Okay. Now we're going to go get, and it's not that easy. So now we're going to go get vendors that's going to give us credit when we have no credit, and they have to report to the business credit reporting agencies. That is the difficult part because one, not every business is just going to give you credit when you got no credit. And two, only 10% of all businesses in the United States even report to the business credit reporting agencies because they're under high guidelines and restrictions to even be able to report. Okay? So that's why I'm here to help you, right? So we got the staff that got all the vendors that will help us do what we need to do. All right. And we know exactly what they need for you to get accepted to go to your next step. All right. So we're going to start with these net 30 accounts. Okay. Net 30 accounts, which means they're going to give you credit when you got no credit. They're going to give you a little bit. And then when you get something on credit, then you got to pay it off in 30 days. Okay. Pay it off in 30 days, hence the term net 30. Okay. Boom. So a business credit report can be started much the same as a consumer report commonly is with small amounts of credit. The business can be approved for small credit amounts to help them build an initial credit profile. These type of initial accounts in the business world are commonly referred to as vendor credit or net 30 accounts. All right. Some vendors will approve your company for net 30 payment terms based on verification of as little as an EIN number and your 411 listing. Here are some vendors who will approve you for initial credit even if you have none now. And you know what? This is not up to date. So, what we're going to do, but your first spot is Maverick Office Supplies. If you go to businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors, you'll see Maverick Office Supplies. But this is what we're going to do because I think that this is a little outdated. So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight to my source where I go and find out what it is, right? All right, we're going to go straight to my source. Just give me a minute and we're going to go straight there. All right. I'm going to show you what the vendors are today because these vendors, they change, okay? They change because they change their underwriting guidelines. All right, let's get in here. So they changed their underwriting guidelines. So like when COVID came, boy, they started changing like crazy because people didn't, they started not paying bills when COVID hit. So they had to change up stuff. You see what I'm saying? So market conditions will change their underwriting guidelines. So that's why we keep a staff that keeps up with this all the time. Okay. Okay. This is the system that I sell to my clients. They go in there and go get what they need. Okay. So we're going here to the starter vendors, right? And this is where I get my information from. This is real, all right? Straight. Okay. Uline, Maverick. I told you I'm Maverick already, right? Right. Credible, JJ Gold. If you go to my website, that vendor page, they got the JJ Gold joint where you get the hook up through my link. Okay. Office Garner, Brex. You see all this stuff? The CEO Creative, Go Fleet, Come and Go. Get some gas cards, yo. Net net turns. No, look at that. Look at that on Go Fleet. It says net turns, net 15 or net 30, no PG, no personal guarantee required. Boom. See, we get you. We got you. See, all right. Wex Fleet, no personal guarantee required. Okay. Granger, that's a good one right there. Granger, that's an easy one, right? Granger. All right. I'm pointing out the easy ones. Pilot, that's an easy one. If you got a truck, right? If you got a truck, I think you got to send in your I don't know what that information is, but truck stuff. Right? you know, let me see any other good ones. Now, now, what's the deal with this? Shell is on here. No, they got a no person. They got a no PG. So Shell was not on here before on the starter vendors tier one. So this is new to me right there. Shell got a joint with a no PG. All right, all right. So that's deep. Sunoco got a no PG. Look at that. Credit Strong is on there. A lot of people know about Credit Strong, and they on there. Exxon Mobil, they got a no personal guarantee joint. Okay, so boom, you see, that's how you do that. All right, so that's them starter vendors. That's hard to get, right? That's them starter vendors, hard to get. Okay, all right, so let's continue. So the first goal, now that you got your business set up properly, you got your DUNS number. The deal is to get 5 of those net 30s, 5 of them. I just gave y'all a whole bunch. Y'all saw that, right? The new joints. Um, and so now we need 5 of them, right? That's why we got the car. But we need 5 of those net 30 joints. Then we go to the next step. Once we got 5, preferably, here goes the bonus. Here goes the bonus. Those 5 joints, that's the first goal. You want 3 of them to be reporting to Dun and Bradstreet. You want one of them to go to report to Experian and one of them to report to Equifax. After 5 trade lines are established using vendor accounts, obtaining revolving accounts is the next step. Revolving accounts all cards a business owner can use and not be required to pay the full balance owed each month. All right. Now, this is where we want to be. These are revolving accounts. You don't have to pay the balance total in 30 days. All right. Home Depot, Lowe's, Office Depot, Staples, Best Buy, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, Amazon, Dell, Apple, BP, Chevron, Racetrack. What? All right. All right. I see we got people falling off. So I'm taking too long. So let's get out of here. It's essential to keep using the credit, keep applying for more, talk with credit providers to raise credit limits. If you do this, business credit will keep growing until higher limit credit lines are obtained within 6 to 12 months. All right. Now, I'm not even going to go. All right. Let's go through this real quick. 3 ways to get funding your bank won't tell you about. We're going to go real fast. All right, George. He says on the West Coast now, Amazon use American Express. All right, that's what's up. All right, so here goes 3 ways you get funding that the bank won't tell you about. Cash flow financing. All right, cash flow financing means, all right, cash flow financing is not for everybody. Cash flow financing is for existing businesses that got cash flow, that they make at least $3,000 a month. If you got cash flow that you can show them in your bank account, you make $3,000 a month at least, then you get funding in 24 hours with cash flow financing. My my funding partner for cash flow financing is David Allen Capital. All right. On your phone, they got a couple questions. Boom, you answer the couple questions. Then they're gonna send you an email to connect your bank account. Once you connect your bank account, that's when they're going to start looking at your stuff to see if you're making the money that you say you're going to make. All right. Um, and they're not going to be looking, they're not going to do nothing until you connect that bank account. That's just what I need to know. That's what you need to know. All right. All right. Collateral-based financing. Collateral-based financing can be obtained if you have some type of viable collateral to offset what you're borrowing. Even as a startup with bad credit, you can secure collateral financing if you have collateral. Here goes some examples of collateral. All right. Look at this. Accounts receivable is also known as factoring. So this for businesses that can batch their invoices and sell them. Purchase orders. That's for people that have government contracts. Say you got a government contract, you need a piece of equipment, right? To you need a piece of equipment to fulfill this this government contract with your purchase order. Boom. A bank ain't gonna do that. See, there are alternative financing options that'll help you. Okay, if you got stocks, bonds, 401ks, you can get a business loan. Talk to me, I'll let you know more. Inventory and equipment. If you got equity in your home, you can get a business loan. Even insurance agents have what they call a book of business, and they can get a business loan on that. Okay. Um, and there's unsecured credit. I also call this the credit line hybrid program. Okay. If you go to the businesscreditbuilder.us/get funding, you will see the credit line hybrid program. This is for when you got good personal credit, a 680 or above. So how it works is they look at your personal credit. You got a 680 or above. Then they're gonna look at your highest revolving trade line, your highest amount, right? Let's say you got a a, a Home Depot card and there's $30,000 limit on that card. What this program does, this is like a credit card stacking program. What this credit card program does is going to get you up to 5 credit cards with $30,000 on them, up to $150,000 in 3 weeks. But you need to have your business set up credible, right? And you got to have this good personal credit. And I got you. 3 weeks. All right. Boom. That's the word. All right. Okay. Um, check it. This is the short version, so we're gonna end out. But I'm gonna let you know that if you need to talk to me, go to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. Right. Um, did y'all want me to go over the plans we got? I can go over the plans if you want. If not, we don't have to. Y'all can check it out on the on my YouTube channel, right? Okay. Oh, check this out. All right, here go one thing before we leave. This is one of my clients right here, Christine. Christine. She got all of these approvals in 6 months with our program. All right. See, what our program does is like you can do this on your own. I just showed you how to do it, how to go get those accounts. But there's gonna be like road bumps along the way, like how to read your business credit report, when to go to the next step, which vendors, which vendors to actually do it that's gonna that you're gonna be able to qualify for. There's like a lot of lumps in there. Now you're gonna be able to figure this stuff out, I'm sure, but we smooth it out. Like you got a speed bump, we're gonna smooth out that speed bump for you. That's what we do. All right. So Christine, she got all of this in 6 months. Now, not everybody can do this in 6 months. I'm telling you, right? But it can be done. Now, she's able to do this because she's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband is a truck driver. So she got all of these in 6 months. Sprint 2,000, Amazon 4,500, Tractor Supply 5,000, Exxon 5,000, Fuelman Fleet 6, BJ 7, BP 8, Lowe's 10, Apple 12.5, Shell 15,000. Look at this list. This list is over $250,000 in business credit. Okay, look at PNC. That's a line of credit. See, so funding your business may not always be getting a lump sum. You might have to figure out what you need to buy to operate your business and then figure out how to finance it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Noel Booker, and we're going to get out of here. We got our fundability program, our fundability system that'll help you. We have our business credit building program, which is 50% off right now. 50% off right now. So you can start with our business credit building program for as low as $200. All right. All right. Um, I'm not, because I want to make this short, we're not going to go over that, right? But just know, damn, I messed up. Hold on. I'm trying to go to this page right here so you can see how you get more information, right? You can go and get all my social medias on point. The blog is crazy. If you go to businesscreditbuilder.us/blog, see the blog. My my podcast is on Spotify. It's called Business Credit is Real. All right. Get your free guide at businesscreditbuilder.us/free guide. Get your free guide. Okay. Get a consult. by going to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share, make a comment, follow, right? YouTube. Go to businesscreditbuilder.us, click that YouTube button. All right. All right. Everybody, y'all got any questions? Miss Mac, Kanisha, what up? Sade, what up? D Block, what up? Anybody got any questions? Did I waste your time? We getting out of here. What? Check me on YouTube. All right, everybody. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Okay. Oh, thanks, Miss Hunter. Sade. She said very useful. Word. Thank you very much. Everybody, we out of here. Thank y'all. Be in contact. Word. Okay, back. That's what's up. That's what's up. I hope this information was useful. Not everybody knew this. When I was a kid, when I was young and had all these business ideas, I didn't know how to set up my business right. Okay, everybody, thank y'all. George, I appreciate that info. One love. We out.